Hi my friends, this is going to be attempt number 2. I apologize. So here's the thing is, now this video I'm going to do a better job on it than the last one, so you'll be thankful that I actually broke it. There's some bubbles floating on the bubble while the road's going down. The song, 80s. Okay, so yeah, you got to hold on because I do not know the truth, and then, you know, because all I know is what I've been in this fishbowl, been looking out through my lenses, my emotions, everything I can touch, see, hear, taste, and, you know, and try to make sense of this world, right? So we do not know what truth is. Truth is hard to define. Even some of us who call our truthers, many have said, well, you can't know the truth. You'll never know the truth. It may be beyond our comprehension. That, you know, I even, like I said, that reality, what is reality? Well, it's like even one of the Star Trek episodes, it talked about then the Next Generation where the captain, he said, you know, reality is probably something that we can't even really define. See, and that's the truth. The true reality, the truth of what's really happening that creates this reality, it's beyond probably even what we comprehension. Like I said, all this could be just an interface, a simulation, right? That it's nothing but, you know, and thank goodness we don't have to know the intricate details of this interface. So here's the thing is, so you're ready for this one. This is going to be kind of a deep thought, but this, I didn't make it clear the other day when I told everybody that, you know, that you're living in a fake world, a simulation. But it goes a little bit deeper because, hear me out on this, and this, I'm just going to throw it out there, and maybe I've lost my mind into this whole analysis. But see, even the characters, these actors, they mean nothing but artificially intelligent generated. There never was truly a George Washington, Abraham Lincoln. There never really is a true Donald Trump or Elon Musk or even Biden. That in this simulation, they could be nothing but characters that were generated by some kind of computer simulation system, like even where they want to think about the Matrix, Tron, and there's many things. Everybody uses the Matrix, but there's actually many things through history that go deeper. And there was actually, that was just a remake of thoughts that already occurred. Even the Forbidden Planet, I didn't realize I watched the Forbidden Planet like that. It has some truth in there as well. That it's a civilization that had advanced so far into the future that they could actually create realities on other planets, that they learned to use computer systems and also just not even, they go beyond matter, that they could actually use frequency, energy, and vibration. Not kidding you. It doesn't go into the details of that, which Tesla talked about, which we know is part of our reality in this earth that is created, that they can actually expand themselves to other planets and other systems and not even be in a material form. And they said so if you ever, I don't want to run the whole thing for you because, I mean, maybe you've already seen Forbidden Planet, everybody has, but I haven't. This one blew my mind. I never really watched it. So it's a good thing that you might want to watch the Forbidden Planet, because my point is this, that, you know, even the things that we create, you know, through our imagination, because that was what was kind of talking about, that they became creators. They kind of became gods, but they end up destroying themselves in that process. But because they had the innate nature of these deep things, I don't want to run it for you. But so here's the thing is, so what if in this whole reality of this game is that, I'm not saying you're not a true soul, that you're just an artificial being, or, you know, you're just an NPC, non-player character, or things like this. But what if everything that we know and everything we touched and everything we've seen in all these movies, that they're nothing but characters, even, you know, everybody from, you know, I was trying to think, Robin Williams to even Jim Carrey himself, maybe nothing but an artificially generated intelligence things, right? And even if you said, well, what if you saw them in person and approached them? Well, even if you did, this reality, that they could formulate and create that individual to look like they're interacting with you and behaving. Because I know this. I got family members, not to mention names, and friends that are, I swear to you, that they are NPCs. And it breaks my heart. They're non-player characters, and boy, they take downloads, they're part of the system. They're not really true divine beings, okay? So if that is in my personal life, what do you think's out there? Who do you think about, like Steve Martin or Martin Short or these other guys, or Chevy Chase? How do you know they're real? And, you know, and by the way that they don't interact with the world and blowing the whistle like you and I, maybe they can't. Maybe they're shut down or whatever happens. But you think with their stature and their, through their money, even through their fame, that they couldn't do a little bit. Like, why aren't they on our channels? Why aren't they, why isn't one of them show up and say, hey, because they cannot be blind to these things, right? They cannot be. It'd be impossible not to see how fake the world is and how it's, and some of these are, what about the ones that played The Matrix, or, even Jim Carrey played in The Truman Show? Now, he has touched basis on this a little bit. He's never gone the full blown. He said he's been aware of the Mandela effect and this and that and all these other things, but he has not come all the way in, right? He hasn't put all the way in. So my point is this: everything could be artificial. That's already here. Everybody says, boy, the world's gonna be taken over by artificial intelligence. Well, I hate to tell you, my friends, and I'm not trying to scare you, 9 times out of 10, when the general public actually finds out about something, it's already been in place or has already occurred, in that we're just in the discovery phase of what's already happening. Seriously, we've seen that through military secret programs. We've seen this through many things that it tends to be already exist. So so we don't even know how long we've been here. For example, the time frame. How long has Earth and the universe been here? Well, we don't know. And why is that time frame important? Because there could be an advanced gods or future or whatever, even gods working with some of our future generations, whatever, or some kind of just extreme advanced technology, that this is their simulation right here, that you're witnessing it, that we weren't aware of it, and we're in the Truman Show of this. It's not very nice of them to do this to us. And some say, well, we volunteered. There's things I could say, yes, I volunteered to be here, and there's other ones I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Who would want to come to a prison and just this disgusting world, right? But because that would have had to have my memory wiped, like on Men in Black, where they bang, zap you, right? But here my point is this: that if this is simulation, there really is no time beginning or end, because it's just whenever the simulation started. It could have started yesterday, that or a week before. We don't know. We could have been transferred from one simulation to another. We could have been moved from one reality, because I told you I had one planet Earth that was a lot friendlier to this place. This one must be one of the worst of the worst. I'm not kidding. This place is disgusting, horrible. I don't even go into the details of that one. This place, 10 times more controlling. We got massive police force. We got just lunatics. We got Karens. We got all this crap. This one's way insane. At least there was some sanity to the previous one, whether we're talking about the Sagittarius or Ryan Belt, whatever, it doesn't matter, because we're here, and that's what's important, right? So to that, so if you're living a simulation, and that's why the Mandela effect in a computer simulation, because I know that software, and I was a software engineer, that you can rewind the clock, change history, put this in, cherry pick that. They call it cherry picking. Take pieces of history and stick it in there and see what happens, and pull it back and whatever, right? You can rewind the clock. And matter of fact, even as characters, that may be why we're seeing some Mandela effect, is we're on this continuous main program or theme of this simulation, while the other ones keep getting modified, and they're taking the downloads from the system that's modifying through them. So whoever is letting us do this, I appreciate them. The controllers above, the high command. I want to thank them that they allowed me to retain my memory and to see these things and let the world unravel around us, how fake it is in this reality. So, and that's the thing, is we don't know the sense and the purpose. I thought the purpose was we're here to save the world and do this and that, but it may be this as simple that you need to save yourself, that and that we work together. I'm not saying we're all loners, but we've got to figure out what's going on here, right? And I'm hoping that they disclose this more to us. And where's the exit door? Is it over there? Is it in that thing? And so anyway, it gets so mind-boggling. So back to this, and that's why I got to tell you, I think we do influence reality. That's why they are trying everything they can to, for even the non-player characters, it still puts energy in that direction, where they got these people brainwashed, because energy is energy. Now, you might have a little bit more energy because you might have more creative power, and that's why you're special, and that's probably why I've been attacked like crap and all this other crap, and maybe you are too, because we have a little bit of creativity, power, and an extra resource as a divine being here, versus, no offense, the NPC who's just going to put their energy in that. It's, for example, that makes sense. It's like, who's grabbing the hammer? So they grab the hammer, so they're putting that in there. These people are putting themselves in their own jail, right? These are your inmates who are trying to keep you from trying to break out of jail, and you're trying to do the great escape, right? We're trying to get out of here, And boy, they do everything they can to keep you in there. You're crazy, this and that, you know, why is this, get your mortgage, this, and try to get trapped by the beast system, right? You know, and no offense, even families can be traps, right? Well, have a family, why are you bitching about that? But there are great things of being here, that's what I said, because it's beautiful, like these families, to spend time with people and this and that. There are great things here. So anyway, so I like them all, Kirk's, like, you're all over the place. But the thing is that, like I said, so think about that for a moment, that everything around you is nothing but artificially generated. Even the characters, you know, every person, like I said, even the idlers, even the musicians, because I'm telling you, it's pretty dang bizarre how everything is so tight. I cannot describe, you know this, how every song, everything, even if you play it in reverse, backwards, forwards, there's messages, timing, sequence, I mean, the date releases of the stuff, I mean, this stuff is beyond comprehension. That your creators are the high command above, I mean, this thing, it was just fine-tuned like you could never imagine. Every single little piece in every moment, like even almost every grain of sand, right? Now, there's probably some randomness to the system where something happens or mistakes are made, but I guarantee you that it is amazing how every little piece of this thing has been tightly wound, right? And like I said, you know, I'm living a script. Mine's called Kirk at church, or these other things like this. And, you know, I've accepted the fact that from day one I was born, this was my role, my character. And, you know, and that's hard to swallow, but I've had a great adventure in this thing, but it's also been hell. I mean, but my role could have been worse. I mean, think about if you would have got the role of the Ethiopian child having to starve your rear end off there, or be in the middle of a damn war, right? And also the time frames. Think about if your role would have been during World War II in a Nazi concentration camp. You got to be kidding me, right? But anyway, but not to be on the negative, so stay on the positive here. But there also, that's what I'm saying, you've got to realize that I wouldn't be sitting here and enjoying myself at this beach and looking at all this beautiful area if it hadn't been, these things hadn't been controlled perfect to this day in this moment, right? That, you know, this thing would not have, like, there's a beautiful boat floating down there. So you know how much we hate these wars. I said all this negativity, all the things, you know, even let's complain about the pollution of the steel, the mines, destruction of the lands to get that steel for these boats and this, and the car engines, the gas. See, I wouldn't be able to even travel back in the day if all these things hadn't occurred. So we got to realize it's a balance, I believe, between evil and good, and yin and yang, and corporations, non-corporations, that's what's gotten out of balance, that we've pulled away from that spectrum, okay? And that's why things are here. That's why we got to get things back into balance on this earth and this reality, right? So that's the thing is, too, we're almost seeing too much push to the artificial versus the real. People artificial, their behaviors, this and that, but we need to balance back to that normalcy, okay? Now, that's the thing is, if you're already in a simulation, well, geez, how you do that? Well, but it's the interaction that we're trying to get back into balance, not whether we're already living in a simulation versus not. Yes, maybe this is Tron even, right? But anyway, so there's so much thought about this. See, that's what I was even going to tell you. No, I'm not trying to offend the Christians, this and that, or make mockery of any religion. But you got to realize it's predictive programming. The Simpsons said, well, this is what, you know, they do, predictive programming. Well, how, you know, even like they said, well, the Bible's true because almost every prophecy's come true. Well, there again, that's predictive programming. Make sure it comes true by keeping the Christians in this, and they're pushing their thoughts. Boy, we're in Revelations. It's the end of the world, this and that, right? So is that, you know, is that predictive programming? Or is that actually just prophecy? Either way, you kind of have to say that it's kind of somewhat the same, right? And like I said, how much is scripted? How much control do we have to break in the script? You know, and should we break the script? That's a problem is, I don't enjoy the script I'm at today. I want out of this prison. I want to break my script, right? But, you know, that's how much flexibility do I have? I do have some freedom of will. I can, you know, I'm sure I can move down to a different state or whatever, and the other side will work with me. I've seen it. You know, I've seen them work with me and rearrange things to, you know, put me in a better or worse position. Sometimes it's worse. I find out I'm in the wrong position. But they are working with us. Like I said, everything's malleable too. I told you, I've seen things change with me within 10 seconds in front of me, which is just shocking, right? Just shocking that it's so malleable. Go back and watch my video with the one where I go into Darwin Falls, where photographs just to even before I get there, all of a sudden Mandela affected, boom, immediately to having a pale horse with a freaky, evil-looking guy on this thing, right? And see, that's the thing is, because that's what I have not figured out is, I didn't show my mother, they have a tornado warning in Colorado. And I don't know if I have time to do this video later about this. So I said, well, let's look at the spiritual from the cloud aspect of what's happening. So look at the satellite photo video, a satellite view of what's happening. The tornado is in Kingsburg, Colorado, that it actually touched ground. And you can actually see apparition, spiritual, right in that spot, that location. And specifically that location, there's a 26-year-old, 28-year-old lady my mother talked about. I didn't preface it so she'd have an open mind. And you can see this lady forming there, and there's some kind of evil guy off the left, and there's a dog and stuff. Very clear apparitions in the clouds. So my thing is like this, well, what does that mean? Is that a soul, a huge soul is fighting and struggling and fighting? And why does it always tend to be near tornadoes or nasty things, that part of their energy and influence? I mean, seriously. So who's controlling this, and how is it simulation? That's like, the Christian, is the Lord doing this? Is God doing this? What, I mean, who and why would they be doing this? Because nowhere in the Bible it says, well, there'd be spirits in the clouds messing with things. But there is songs. The spirit in the sky, remember that? Spirits in the sky? Well, spirit, I guess, singular. Anyway, there is so much more going on in the spiritual thing than we realize, right? What's truth, what's deception, what is and what's not, right? But that's the thing is that it is true, like even the Forbidden Planet. This ain't a spoiler. If it is, stop right now, because it's just a statement they made, so I hope not. One of the guys says in there, he says that the subconscious mind, the fear, is what drives laws in religion. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't have some kind of association or a relationship with the high command, the ones in the spiritual realm, but that's a deep thought. Think about that, because fear does create laws and also religion. And there are other purposes for those as well. Come on, it's just not just that. But at the crux of it, those are some key components to it, right? That you start seeking religion when you have fear or have frustrations or in a terrible time. And we create laws as well. So so how much, so my point is this, is that, well, everyone wants to say, well, this is the correct religion, this is that. Well, we really can't say that, what is the true religion, what is the true way for people, right? So anyway, that's it. And look at those little feety prints. It looks like somebody was coming down there. So that's a little bit long, but I want to get that out there, that it's kind of shocking. So, that we know nothing, almost. I hate to say this. But there are things you do know. To know that you're a real being, that that you can be a great person and probably do the thing that you're doing. Stay on the same course of action, Don't change yourself just because something I was saying, or change your opinion or mind. Seek those truths in yourself. I'm just trying to provide what I believe is the way of the truth, not the truth, right? And we may never have those answers. Because when you start thinking a deep realm of this stuff, it'll freak you out. I mean, seriously, how did this even become in existence, right? And I told you that I could create this if I had the technology, like I said. I could create this whole world to make you even live forever and never even know it. I could become your God using technology, and with not even being a God, where I have a limited life myself. I could literally be a God that only could live for 20 years, or let's say 50 years of age, and still make you live forever. You see, all that's impossible. I could do that. I could do that. Think about it. I could make you. They even have an episode in Star Trek where they put the doctor. When the doctor, he was supposed to be a Watson or something. They put him in a little box and said, he'll live forever. Not forever, but he'll live like almost forever. A little box of all these adventures. Well, maybe we're in a box, a cube. Right? And maybe God got trapped in with us. We don't know. Like Tron. Who knows? But anyway, those are just thoughts. But like I said, don't lose your mind over this. Find a balance, because you can search all these theories and the rabbit holes are deep. Right? Very deep. So I'm just trying to keep it simple, stupid Kirk. Keep to the basics, right? Stay on the mission, be good, try to do things, try to influence when we can, things like that. All right, love y'all. Take care. God bless.